I'm on my way to Elkhart right now. Grab a fifth wheel from Alliance RV. Sitting in some traffic here, trying to get out of Illinois into Indiana. But it should be about another 2 hours. It really, even though there's some traffic, Elkhart's not too bad to get to. It's, I think it said like 2 hours, 20 minutes. And I didn't leave until about 8 o'clock a.m. So that's not bad. I thought I was going to hit more traffic. Should be there about 10:30. And then from there, hopefully roll out of there a little after 11-ish or around 11 and up to Madison, Wisconsin. So with fifth wheel, Madison from Elkhart should be like 4 to 4.5 hours. Hopefully put me up there like 2:30, 3 o'clock, and then half-hour drop because they're going to be open, so I'll have to do an inspection with somebody. It won't be a night drop, but it shouldn't be bad. I should be out of there hopefully by 4, home by about 6:30 is my goal. So this in good conditions, Elkhart to Madison, and then back home. Well, home to Elkhart to Madison, back home should be about a 10-hour day. Now I don't know. As you can see in the video, there's a lot of construction right now, as typical with Chicagoland in the summertime. So we'll kind of see how it goes. Not in a rush or anything. I don't have any really pressing things to get done this afternoon. So kind of the same as what's been going on the last month or so. My buddy that's been running with me has been running the loads, and because I can't lease on 2 trucks right now, I just been letting him run the loads. Allows me to kind of focus on my business and lets him make money. And we're still moving the amount of trailers we have to move contractually. So this is my first delivery in the last 2 weeks. Well, my last one was the nightmare load that I had for the customer delivery and stuff with that weird tongue. So that was the last load that I did. And I really gotta tighten that mount up. But yeah, that's the last load that I did. About probably exactly 2 weeks ago. Maybe 2 weeks in a day. I'm trying to remember, it was like a Thursday I think that I did that. So but my truck's been running 4 loads a week probably the last 2 weeks. We have not had a problem getting loads. I know because I'm part of all the Facebook groups. I keep up on it. I watch some of the other YouTube channels still, and I know a lot of people are saying it's slow. There's not a lot of loads, and that's not the case for us. At least the last couple of weeks, we've been able to get loads, as many as we've asked for. We haven't been turned down any loads because that's kind of how our system works. Is we're a small company. We don't have a load board. You just reach out to the dispatcher, and I try to keep it pretty simple, and maybe that's why I can always get loads, is I just take whatever he's got. So I'm not picky. I can request certain loads. I think a week or 2 ago I requested 2 loads for a weekend, and I requested like a shorter distance load for Saturday because my buddy had something going on that Saturday and didn't want to be gone all, because you can do some of our shorter loads in like a full 8-9 hours, or you could be out on the road for the full 14-hour shift, 11-hour driving. So that's like the extent of me requesting certain loads usually. It may put us in a situation where we end up getting some of the loads people don't want, like the park models or the big fifth wheels. I'm sure there's a lot of guys that don't want to do those, and because we're not picky, we end up with them. But I mean, the park models for us pay 25 cents a mile more than just like a standard travel trailer, which is not enough to make up the difference in like time and fuel, because you obviously don't get as good a fuel mileage and you have to go slower, so it adds more time. Typically I say it adds at least an hour to my drive if I'm doing a park model versus just like a 30-foot travel trailer. So the extra 25 cents a mile really doesn't cover the extra fuel burned and time, but it makes it close enough that it's pretty much even, pretty close to even with the $2 a mile I get on a regular travel trailer. But yeah, so I mean that's good news to me, the fact that we have loads. I don't think it's like overly busy because I'm not getting phone calls from my dispatcher asking me to take certain loads. The last phone call I got was that customer delivery, and I don't know if I ever updated that, but an update on that, I got an extra $100 on that load. I could have, when I spoke to my dispatcher, he asked what, if I wanted more than 100. I didn't want to piss off the customer. It was just a bad situation for everybody, so I was fine with the $100. It covered the $30 that I spent renting the grinder, and gave me an extra $70 in my pocket for the time that I spent, which, like I said, it was like an extra 3 hours, so obviously $70 wasn't ideal, but I could have been nothing. A lot of companies would have been like, we'll deal with it, so the fact that I was able to get an extra $100 out of it, I think was fair. Like I said, would an extra 200 have been nice? Yeah, but also I don't want a situation where the customer is not happy and stuff like that. So I'm happy with it. I hope that I don't get stuck with one of those crazy tongues on a trailer again, but it is what it is. Today's a fifth wheel, so honestly that's what I've been pulling more lately anyways, because I've been pulling my fifth wheel. So fifth wheel is just for anybody I started out without a fifth wheel hitch, just towing the travel trailers, and it's the fifth wheels pull much nicer. I definitely enjoy pulling the fifth wheels better, but there's something to be said about just grabbing and hooking up to a small travel trailer and going as well. So overall, kind of feels good to be back in the driver's seat grabbing a load. Feels good to be back in my Power Stroke. I like the Cummins, but I'm definitely more of a fan of the Power Stroke. But I think the Cummins is going to make a good work truck. So a little update on that right now. It's pretty much ready. I got to get a couple cotter pins for the fifth wheel hitch that didn't come with it because I bought it used, and I just haven't sold that cap yet. I probably should have taken an offer that I got on it. It was kind of a low ball, so it was more of a situation where like the low ball offer kind of pissed me off, so I just didn't want to sell it to that person. Versus like I should have just taken the money on it just so I could put that truck into production, because what I'm trying to avoid is taking that cap off, setting it like in my garage or yard, and having it just sit there and get forgotten about. So rather than having that happen, I've just been driving that truck and letting my leaving my Power Stroke leased on with the RV Transport. But ideally I'll get that Cummins leased on because I want to keep the miles off this truck. This one's up to 197,000 now. Bought it in November, so I'm coming up on a year of ownership, and well, not quite a year. I got 2 more months before it hits a year, and we've put 84,000 miles on it, so it's gonna hit that 100,000 if I keep it on there for the year. I love this truck. It's been great. Would I love 2025 or 6? Probably. Yeah, that'd be cool. I just watched a video of 25 or 26 Power Stroke with the new tune, and I want to say, and I could be mistaken, but it was like the high horsepower. I want to say it was like around 700 horsepower, and like 1,400 foot-pounds torque. I could be wrong. I watched a YouTube video on some new tune that came out for them. That was a 25 or 26, I think, or 24. that 200 horsepower race tune on my 19. I'll say it's a very quick truck, fast for a truck. I confidently say it's fast for a truck. But I wonder how, you know, not that I'm running around racing people, but I wonder how it would compete, how it would perform against you know, a brand new Super Duty high output with the new race tunes that they have. So if anybody knows, throw that in the comments. I'd be interested. Not that I'm looking to spend $100,000 on a truck right now, but we'll see how things go. So yeah, so I'm hoping if I don't get that cap sold, maybe by the end of the weekend, I'll probably do one of two things. I'll either dump the price down to like almost nothing on it to get someone to take it, or I'll take it off and put it in my garage, or I got a shop now. So I meant to film a video on it, and I just got caught up talking with the owner, but I rented a shop space. I guess I should say it's more of an indoor storage, but it's just mine. So it's a it was listed at, I think, 49 feet by 20 feet wide, but I think I think the 20-foot wide is accurate, but I think it's longer than 49 feet. I think it's over 50, to be honest, because what my goal is to put both of the campers that I have in this unit, and I got it for such a good price that it just made sense. So I was paying for outdoor storage $100 a month on my travel trailer, $175 a month on my fifth wheel, so $275. They were right next to each other. I think I had a short video on that. But there was really no security. It was open gated. I didn't have any issues, but as far as like security goes, but what I did end up having an issue with was, like, the last time I went to go drop both trailers off when I took them camping, there was somebody had backed a boat into the spot that I kept one of my trailers in. Then I had to shift them both over, and you know, it just wasn't that easy. I liked them where I had them, and I like to be able to hook up and go, and it wasn't allowing that. So, and they're going to be moving now that, like, boating season in Illinois is coming to an end. They're going to be putting a lot of boats in there, and I want to get my fifth wheel out of there before a bunch of trailers start moving around and someone hits it. So I found this, and last year I stored my travel trailer. I didn't have my fifth wheel yet, but I stored it inside, and I paid. People are slamming on the brakes. That Camaro almost rear-ended me. But I paid $400 a month for indoor storage on just my travel trailer last winter, and it was of the same owner of the lot that I store them at in the summertime, and he had taken it over to the indoor storage that he had built for me, so I never saw it. But when I picked it up, I picked up the trailer, you know, from the indoor storage, and I call it indoor, but I was not pleased with the situation because it was a brand new built building, and it was not finished being built when I picked it up in April or May. And I wonder if there was even a roof on it for a lot of the winter, because it was not even remotely close to being completed when I picked it up in like April or May, and it went there in like late October, early November. So yeah, that when I got there, the walls were pretty much done except for like the bottom 2 feet were all open. So I'm sure not a lot of weather was getting in there, maybe some snow building up, and it was kind of right up against the side, only maybe 4 or 5 feet off the side of the building. So definitely, like, snow and stuff could have been packing up on my wheels, but it's not the end of the world there, as long as the roof was covered, I guess, because that was my main concern, keeping snow from sitting on top of the roof. But it was also just like gravel parking lot, which is fine as well, but it just wasn't the indoor storage that I thought I was getting for $400 a month. And I don't know what the price should be, to be honest. This is a guy that I know for a while, and I wouldn't consider him like a good friend, but an acquaintance or a hey buddy type of thing. But so I found a new place because he had mentioned that boats were going to start coming in, and he wanted to know if I wanted to put them in indoor storage. And I just didn't want to spend. I didn't know what he was going to charge for my fifth wheel indoor, and I knew I paid $400 a month for the indoor travel trailer, so I figured it was going to be. I was probably looking at around $1,000 a month is what I was thinking for indoor storage for the winter, and I didn't want to do that, and I can't access them, so we're still going on at least one, if not maybe two, if we can squeeze another camping trip in. And I want to be able to get my travel trailer because I'm really hoping to get that thing rented down south, but I don't know if that's going to work out. So yeah. So I found a place. It's an hour and a half northwest of my house. It's up in Janesville, Wisconsin. The guy was renting out a unit. Like I said, 20 by 49 or 20 by 50 is what it's listed as. But I believe it's a little larger than that. And $400 a month. Indoor, concrete, secured, cameras everywhere. So I was pretty happy about that. I went up, met the guy, super cool guy, owns a motorcycle shop, older gentleman, just rents out a couple units to kind of offset the price of the shop and stuff. But you could literally eat off the floors. I'll attach a picture in the thumbnail that I took with the travel trailer in there. LED lighting, access door, big overhead garage door with a garage door opener. So all that was super nice. Yeah, so the nice thing about Janesville, most of our trips we tend to end up in the Wisconsin Dells area. We found a lot of campsites that we like in that area, whether it be Baraboo or the Dells or whatever. So we passed pretty much through Janesville to get to where we're going. I would say 75% of the time. So it's not going to be that big of a deal. Where I was storing it was already an hour drive, so it's not like, I mean, it's an extra half hour, but what it's probably going to eliminate is a lot of times I would run up, get it, bring it home for the night, and then we'd leave the next day. I don't think, unless we're going like south and we're not going to be passing through that area, I don't see myself doing that anymore, where I'm going to drive an hour and a half to go get it. We're just going to have to grab the trailer on the way up north. I don't have 24-hour access. Technically, I could go there and get, there's no gate I got to go through. I have my garage door opener, but he said it's going to set off like the security system if I go, after like 10 p.m. So I'm sure I could probably text him and say, hey, is it cool if I go get this at midnight? He probably would say fine. But I've never really done that as it is, so I don't see it being an issue. And the other good thing is it's a month to month. I paid first and last month, or security deposit in a month. So if it doesn't work out or I find a better situation, then I'm not like locked into a year contract or anything like that. So I like that. I will say, after so I brought the travel trailer up with me when I was going up there to sign the contract and stuff, and it's tight. Like, it's going to be very tight getting them both in there. I'm going to buy one of those electronic trailer jacks, or like trailer movers, because I basically have to get the travel trailer all the way up against the side wall in order to have room for the fifth wheel to come in. And I couldn't get the angle right getting in and getting the travel trailer where it needs to be. So I'm gonna have to buy one of those expensive, I say say expensive, that's relevant, but I'm gonna buy one. I'm trying to find them used on Marketplace for 500 to 1,000 that run on a battery, and you can hook up and just move the trailer around. It won't work for the fifth wheel, but it'll work for the travel trailer. The fifth wheel is going to be a straight shot back in, so that one I'm not worried about. It's the travel trailer I got to get off to the left in front of the man door. So I'm going to buy one of those probably in the next week or so, and give that a try to get it over, because as of right now, and you'll see it in the thumbnail picture, I wouldn't be able to get them both side by side in there, but technically there is room if I can maneuver it right. So I'm going to play around with it. I got probably another 2 weeks before I bring my fifth wheel there, because I left it at the other storage lot for at least we're going camping, not this upcoming weekend, but the following weekend. So we're going to leave it at the current storage unless someone calls and says I got to get it out of there. But then I'll move it over there and see how it looks. But in the meantime, I'll try to get that trailer jack, and get it moved around. But yeah, so pretty exciting. But long term, my plan, and I don't know if I've mentioned this before, is I want to get my own either building or storage lot or something and do my own kind of storage. I'd like to have like a self-storage facility of some sorts. I don't know, not necessarily self-storage. Like I don't know that I want like those little mini storage buildings, but a secured lot where I can rent spaces for people with travel trailers, and then obviously put my own stuff there. So I don't know how long it's going to be before I can do that or what, but that's kind of the plan that I'm working on right now. And I would like to get that, as soon as I possibly can, but I don't know what that time frame would look like. I gotta find land that's affordable in a decent place that I could put up security gates and fence it in and gravel it and stuff. So, but that's my long-term plan. So I'm not paying somebody else so much money to store my stuff, and then also I can make money off people storing their stuff. So that's the goal. For now, I'm hoping that this situation works out. If the RV rental business takes off some more, he said he's going to have another unit that'll open up, and I can have that first dibs on that one. So if I wanted to put a couple, more trailers in there, I don't know how, the reality of that is. As of now, my trailer, I don't think it's gone out since like maybe the beginning of, no, it wouldn't have been. It's probably been like 3 to 4 weeks since my trailer has been rented. So it's definitely died down. The first July and beginning of August was really good, and then late August, early September, now mid-September, it's just been dead. So I noticed that like on RV Easy, I'll have to look at the rest of them. I noticed my listing is like down at the bottom of like page 2, so I got to figure out how to get that back up because it wasn't that far down. So I don't know if the rental season, because school started, is just dying down, or if it's possible that because mine is a 37-foot travel trailer, it's just not getting the attention that, or the traffic that a smaller unit that someone could pull with like a Tahoe or something is getting. But I'll have to kind of look into that. I've been kind of busy, so I haven't had time. But it's definitely not. I don't like that it's sitting and not making money, but I'm paying storage and stuff like that on it. So that's kind of the update for the RV rental. It's nothing going on. It was good, not so good now. So anybody that wanted an update on that, I wish I had better news for that, but I don't. That's about it. Truck's running good, getting up there in miles. The Ram's been running good. I got to get it ready. Long term, I got to chase down. There's an exhaust leak on the Ram that I hear when the exhaust brake kicks on, so I got to figure out what's going on with that. It's not anything that's like affecting the way it drives. It's just kind of an annoying noise I'm hearing when the exhaust brake kicks on. And I'll eventually get ball joints done on that. So, but that's about all it really needs. I found a seat cover because there is a tear in the seat. that tear doesn't get worse and get the foam falling out too much and stuff. So that's kind of one of my near plans. I was gonna put seat covers on it. I'm really not a fan of seat covers, the way they look, feel, stuff like that. And when I was looking into it, it actually, in order to get like nice seat covers, it'd be cheaper just to replace that cushion, because the rest of the seats are mint. They're in like perfect condition, and the driver's seat's really clean and good condition. It just has that one tear in the bolster. So I think the best bet is to replace that cover, and for the $150